Hey guys, how's it going? Just messing around with my roof rack here. I took it off for the winter. Really, I've had it off for a good while now. If I do go camping this winter and I need this back on, it's easy to put on. So I don't like riding around with it all the time. You do get some wind noise, you know, like when it's nice out. I like to have my sunroof open. So I'm used to taking it on and off. During the summer, I'll leave it on for quite a bit. But anyhow, I'm down here in my basement. I decided to do some lighting on this rack and just kind of make it more, my whole vehicle better for camping. Because I do camp out of it's a Toyota 4Runner 2007. And I've cut a mattress for the back of it, and me and my dog will sleep in it. Just makes things kind of easier. I mean, I'll still set up like a canopy at camp, you know, sometimes, stuff like that. So I still set up a camp kind of, but it's nice to sleep in the truck and a lot more comfortable than the ground. I'm getting older and it's just better. But anyhow, this is the Curt roof rack with the extension. Adds about 2 feet. And yeah, like I said, I'm putting some lighting on here, and I just figured I'd show you my ideas, what I'm using, and if you like it, then you can do the same or whatever. So these are YITAMOTOR is the brand of the light. And I'll be honest, I'm not thrilled with them, but for the price, I really shouldn't be complaining about them. They're like 15 bucks. You know, you get not eat first 2 of them, you know, 15 bucks. So I thought I'd give them a try, what the hell. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to wire them. I'm not sure if I'm going to run the wire through the tubing. I kind of don't want to do that because I just don't want water to be able to get into this tubing. And I could seal it off, but really this is still trial and error. I'll have to go camping a couple times and see if this light is in the right place, you know what I mean? Because technically, where this light's at is about the middle of my truck. You know, my sunroof's maybe open to here or something. So, you know, my sunroof's typically up here. So, this is about middle of the truck. And I'm just going to wire them up, put a little switch here, and that way, when I'm sitting here, because I also may get an awning, you know, that would hook onto this rack, like an ARB awning. You can look them up if you've never seen them. That'll hook onto this rack and be able to come out the side of my truck, and that way I'll be, you know, a lot better camping out of my vehicle. Maybe I won't have to set up any other canopy. So that'll come above this if I do that. You know, this will be below that, so I can have the awning out, have this out. I can be sitting in my chair, grilling if it's dark or whatever, you know. This is, I've needed these before, so I just figured this was a good idea to do. So, the light switch, I can turn it on. I'll put a switch in the truck, and then I'll have a switch here, and I'll have another one over there, which I haven't put on yet, and so that way I can have just this light on, both lights on, do whatever, you know. When I'm in the truck, typically I'll leave these on, so if I did want to just, for some reason, if I was driving and needed some side light, you know, I could flip it in the truck, they'd both be on. But when I get to camp, I can, you know, turn them off out here, turn the switch on, and that way I'm not running light out of a way that I'm not over there, you know what I mean? So, and I also do have lights on the back here that we'll go over also. And they're a different style light, and we'll get there when we get there. That'll be for more chopping wood, a whole over camp lighting, you know. So I'll show you how I did this panel here. I got the other one, and then I'll hook it up, show you how it works. I got a porta power pack thing, or a jump box, whatever you want to call it, that makes testing this stuff fairly easy. And it's good to have because if I'm going to be running this on my truck, I don't have a secondary battery system for my vehicle. So, you know, if I ever do kill my battery somehow, then that jump box hopefully save me from that. because when I'm out camping, you know, there's not always somebody to come and help you. I'm not camping at state campgrounds, really, you know, where there's tons of people all the time. So, let me grab this other plate, and I'll show you real quick how it's kind of set up, and then we'll go over a couple other things. I'll hook it up, show you. Okay guys, here's the other plate for the other side, and here's the switch I bought. It's just a little, it's a Hella brand switch, and, you know, just threaded on the back, little 3-prong, because it has a light on it, which you'll see here in a minute once I get it hooked up. I drilled the hole, I drilled it 3/4, and it was a little bit small, so I had to use a little sanding bit with my Dremel to kind of just bore it out a tiny bit more, and now it fits right in. And what I used on, I forgot to mention, I sprayed this whole thing with like a truck bed liner out of like a spray paint can. Honestly, I don't remember the brand. It might have been DuPont. And it's alright, but it is scraping off. It's not great. This, I scuffed up when I was doing the one, so I put that like flexi coat, I think is what Rust-Oleum calls it. You know what I mean? A lot of people spray like their rims and stuff black, so this can peel off, so this might not work all that well, but we'll see. Really not a whole lot scraping on here, but if it needs recoated, whatever. So I'm just going to throw that switch in there, screw the back onto it. I'm going to make sure that gets lined up right. And what I thought maybe, you know, I'm not sure about these switches if they're really waterproof. So we'll have to see how these hold up. But what I thought I could do is, after I get all the wires on here, then I will, if I have problems, I could cover this with just hot glue and kind of just seal this thing up. Now on the front, there's not a whole lot I can do, so if they fail, they fail. They weren't very expensive, so I can try something new. So I'll install this back on, and then I'll show you how to put the wires on here, and we'll get it wired up, and then I'll show you how they work and how they move them, and I'll show you a little bit about these brackets that I bought too. And I'll post some information. I'll put up a picture, some information on these lights. I bought them off Amazon, and the brackets came off Amazon. Really everything here came off Amazon, so the switches, everything. So I'll show you some of that once I get this put on there. Alright guys, I got that put back on, and here is, hopefully the lighting's in there. Here's how you wire these. I have to look again here. What you do is the positive will be at the very top. There's one gold and then the 2 silver tabs. The very top is your positive. It's tight. And you don't put the negative of the light onto here. This will be, the middle is the positive wire from your battery, and then this will be your negative wire from your battery, and then this will run to your battery also. So you could have a little splitter there, hook your negative up. You know, you could hook this up to here, but your battery has to hook up to the negative there also. Just so you know, if you haven't ever wired one before. This one is kind of wired. Not really good because I didn't cut any red wire for it. I just used 2 blacks. But either way, your positive wire to your light on the top, negative wire to your battery is at the bottom, positive wire to your battery in the middle. So I'll hook up my jump box and to these wires here, just temporary, and I'll show you what the light's like, and I'll show you why I'm not thrilled with these lights. They're purple. The lighting is purple. I'll shut the lights off if we have to. You might just be able to see on the floor, but and then there's the switch. And that's kind of hard to see. Maybe I should throw some other lighting on here, but I'll hook these up, show you, and then I'll hook the backs up and show you those lights too. Okay guys, it's all hooked up. Oh, it's already on there. Alright. As you can see, there's the green light here. Even when it's off, the light is on. Which is cool, easy to find. You know, walk up to your truck when you're camping, it's dark out, bam, hit that thing on. I don't know if you can tell. Is that light is purple? Maybe not. It's kind of just got a bit of a purple tint that I'm not the hugest fan of. But I have had it on my truck with just the jump box hooked up and just ran real quick wiring for it all. And I think I liked how the light spread. You know, these are supposed to be a floodlight somewhat compared to, you know, spotlight. I'm not sure. You really can't believe these things on Amazon sometimes, you know. So that should be pretty nice. Should definitely help. And then what you can do too is all of this is movable. You know, you want it down here, you want it wherever. The light will spin on right here, this right here, and then this bracket will go up and down too, whatever you want to do. And you know, these are sticking out a little bit. Let me show you here. You know, they do stick out from the roof rack, but not much. And, you know, my truck's wider than this roof rack anyhow, so maybe that'll help show how much it sticks out. Not a whole lot, nothing crazy. So that should definitely help put me some light, you know, when I'm grilling at night, because you know, I almost always, it seems like I'm grilling in the dark when I'm camping. Excuse me. Just go out and go on things during the day. So yeah, you can see that that's lit up. The switches come, I hooked them all up. The switches come with your little slide on it, connections, and I crimped those and I soldered them just to make sure it's good and tight, you know. So probably spin this roof rack around a little bit here, but here are the other lights in the back. Nilight's the brand. I can't remember exactly what I paid for these. Same brackets. Like I said, I'll throw up a quick picture of what they are off Amazon. Same exact brackets. These brackets, I don't know. I think they were loose on this top bar. It's just slightly smaller than the bottom. You can tell much, but I don't think they worked real well up here. Not saying you couldn't just wrap another piece of rubber. These things come with different inserts, but this is the thickest one. These rubber parts here. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, so those are the thickest ones. So this would be the smallest bar. And like I said, they might work up here, but I think they were loose. I don't recall, because I've moved these around and tried to figure everything out of what I want to, where I want to put them. So these are more of a spot, but these two back lights will really light it up. I took a couple pictures while I was out in my driveway, nothing special, but I'll probably throw that picture up too, so you can kind of get a general idea of how these are pretty bright back here. Like I said, these are better for chopping firewood and stuff like that, you know, behind your vehicle, and just lighten up all of camp. You wanted to play some cornhole, these would be plenty bright. So that's nice to have, to be able to light up camp, chop wood in the dark. Like I said, play some lawn games, or, you know, get your fire going, whatever. Back in, and then, like I said, may have the canopy out here. flip my lights on, have chairs and barbecue, whatever over here. You know, if it's raining, be able to sit out there, and then I do sleep in my vehicle. Not all the time. You know, if my girlfriend comes, then we probably won't. But when it's just me and the dog, then we can sleep in there. And if you were traveling, it's a lot easier to just pull over in your truck and sleep in it real quick and keep moving the next morning, you know. That hasn't ever happened yet, but maybe will one day here, so. Alright, I'll hook those, I'll spin this around and hook those lights up and show you how bright they are. Those, the back lights, I think I'll only have a switch inside the truck. They'll both just be on all the time, because that's for just a huge general lighting. Alright guys, that's them lit up. It's hard to ever show how bright something is on a camera. I'll walk over here and kill these lights. They're plenty bright. And again, these can be moved around too, you know. Definitely lighten the room up pretty decently. So, I think that'll be plenty good for camp. I don't think I'd want to be too bright or you're just being obnoxious as it was if you were camping around other people, you know. Alright, I'll put these lights back on and I can show you those a little better. The YITAMOTOR lights on the side, I do believe, or I know they have or it says 2-year warranty. How big of a pain in the ass that'll be to deal with, I don't know. You know, sometimes the customer service sucks. They're cheap, so they're not going to really want to be fixing it for you. And these Nilights, I believe, are 2-year warranty also. But again, read the reviews, and it's hard to trust reviews on Amazon anymore. I think too many people get paid to do reviews on stuff. You know, I don't care to do reviews too much. But if you watch my videos, you know, I haven't made any videos in a long time, and I'm going to get back at it, I hope. Hope to have a little more time now than I was last year. So, you know, you get to see how all this stuff works. You'll be able to see me using all this stuff. And I'm going to make a video too of certain better ways to load up your roof rack, or like things I've found that fit well, you know, different types of containers I have that are weatherproof and stuff like that to put up here driving down the road in the rain. You know, a normal tote, just because the top, you know, is good and it wraps down the side, doesn't mean that rain coming can't get up and under it and get all your stuff wet, you know, and you show up to camp and all your sleeping bags and stuff are wet, or whatever you got in there. It's not good. So I just wanted to throw out this lighting. I still got to wire it all up in my truck. This will all be quick disconnect. I'll run it all back to here, and then I will have just a quick plug for these separate from those, because I got to have 2 switches inside the vehicle for them. So yeah, just quick connect. Hopefully, you know, all that wire, when this is not on my truck, will be hidden. And even when it's on the truck, I want it to be still pretty clean looking. You know, I don't want crap everywhere on the outside of my truck. I want it to still look good. So, you know, like I said, these can move too. What I do think I'll do is replace a lot of these, maybe not on these, but with the other ones. I'm going to put lock washers on a lot of this stuff, or not washers, but nylon lock nuts. So that way when I am moving them around, it's not getting loose and becomes a problem, and I have to deal with that while I'm camping. You know, get a lock nut and it'll should hold true. That way when I'm moving these up, down, and doing whatever I want with them. You know, these aren't going to spin sideways, nor are those, but up and down is good. And you know, when I'm out camping, if I decide these need to be over here, then I can do that too. I just figured in here it'd be a little better, but we'll see. It's all just a test run. I'm learning as I go here, and you know, this is a fairly cheap way. This rack, I got $150 in the rack. I want to say these lights are about, they're less than $30 for the two of them. These brackets for the lights, clamps or whatever you want to call them right here, are $12. So, you know, I got 24 because I got 4 of them, 2 sets. So I got 25 in that, 25 in these lights. There's $50, 150 in the rack, $200. You know, I'm $250 maybe in this. It's going to be a pretty sweet setup. Now, if I run 10 gauge wire, this is like 12 gauge here. If I run 10 gauge through the vehicle, that'll probably be the most expensive part of it. That can get a little pricey on that wire, but that's alright. Do it right, do it once, you know, and you're out. When you're out, you're having fun and you ain't dealing with this stuff. So, I'll get this wired up one day here. I'm in no hurry to get it done. Like I said, it's winter and I'm not a huge fan of camping when it's 20, but it may happen. Who knows? But, hey, thanks for watching, and hit the like button if you're liking the videos. Maybe subscribe, and I'll keep making them if people keep watching them. Alright, thanks guys.